Okay, good evening to all. This is Amit Karmakar, Innovation Ambassador, CVRGU. Right, so today we will have a short session on entrepreneurship development. Right, so let's move. Just a second. Yeah. So you have all heard this entrepreneurship, right? But there is also, this business thing. So what is basically this business and entrepreneurship thing? So let us see the points. Like business has a very little or no component of innovation in it. Right. I hope everyone can hear me right. Right. Okay. This business has almost no component of innovation or very little component of innovation. But this entrepreneurship is totally innovation-driven business. Right. Mostly it is blue ocean strategy. We'll talk about it later. And business is actually no large funds taken from outside, right? Like this Oyo, all these things, Oyo, Ola, they actually take huge amount of funds from the outside world and they invest in the Indian markets to get out a profit. But in business, there is no large funds taken. Like not many are interested because it is might not be scalable up. All these things are there. So basically, saying this business is almost in the red ocean, and entrepreneurship is definitely in the blue ocean. We'll talk about this red ocean and blue ocean shortly. Now let's see the difference between an entrepreneur and intrapreneur. I hope this is a new term that you are listening to, intrapreneur, right? Entrepreneur is actually the owner of the organization or company which he has started, right? But intrapreneur is like an inside entrepreneur. Means what? He's an employee of the organization. He's getting a salary from the organization. Yet he has some entrepreneurial skills, which like he wants to develop a new product without selling it, and with after selling it and all those things, but he does not take the risks associated with it. So without taking the risk, he is an entrepreneur and he gets his salary from the organization, right? But entrepreneur is completely generating his own salary, right? And he is taking the risk himself only. So basically, this is the difference. So before becoming an entrepreneur, he might opt to become an intrapreneur, like most of our IIC cell boys actually do. They have these entrepreneurial capabilities within themselves, and further, when they will move out of the college, they might become entrepreneurs. Like now, let us think why should we go for entrepreneurship, right? Why? So entrepreneurship is full of risk, right? So when do you actually take some risk in your life? Can you imagine? Like if you are bored with your old cell phone and somebody shows you the cell phone and says this is actually 1,50,000 rupees, then you still would try to have this phone, right? So that is actually greed, the greed of a new thing, of a new something, right? So that actually makes you take risk in life. Then another is just fear. If you are in fear that if you do not do well in your exams, you might get lost of the job. Actually, you might lose the job offer that is coming, and all these things, all types of fears. That again makes you very much powerful, and then you are ready to take a risk in your life. And the third category is like when you have something love or passion for, like someone has a love for always product designing, like most of our TBI boys have. Like then there are other types, and you must have seen this scene from the famous film Iron Man. This Iron Man is a character which is full of passion. He keeps on designing things. I hope everyone knows this about film, and this is a famous scene. So this is a sustainable internal driving force, this passion or love for doing something. So this is actually the why should you be going for entrepreneurship, right? There are two other reasons, that was greed and fear. That the reasons are actually short-lived. They might not be sustainable in the near future. But if you love doing something or have passion to do it, then definitely it will never tire out doing all those things. So do you ask your question this, do you complain or take responsibility of the problems around you, right? So हम लोग किसका responsibility लेते हैं? Whom do we take responsibility of? And जो बोलते हैं ना, जो मेरा है, whatever we feel that is mine, that we take responsibility of, and then you can innovate and solve, you can expand your horizon, get funds, protect it through IPR, and get a sustainable business model built around it, and then you can keep on the cycle of expanding. This is a bit unclear now. It will become clear after some time. Now let us differentiate between inventions and innovations, right? So what is an invention and what is innovation? Like Ola, you have Uber, Oyo. Are these actually inventions? No. The technologies on which they depend is actually a GPS. Mostly Ola, Uber, and Oyo, they actually depend upon the GPS. So GPS is an invented technology, it has been patented, but when you integrate all these things, then it becomes an innovation, right? So the combination of many inventions, then to make a new thing, a product or a new service, that becomes an innovation. So I must ask you this question, like this electric bulb is there. Was it an invention or an innovation? Few people can answer this. I think everyone can unmute themselves. I repeat my question. This electric bulb is an invention or innovation? Anyone can unmute. Okay, so let me tell you the answer. Actually, electric bulb was designed after this vacuum technology was invented. So the inside of the bulb has no air. So the vacuum technology itself is an invention, right? And this wire is also an invention. So Thomas Alva Edison actually did not make any invention, but he innovated this electric bulb, right? So electric bulb is an innovation, not an invention. And this bulb was glowing at that time with batteries. Battery technology was also invented, right? So he actually combined the effects of battery, wire, vacuum technology, and then directly he was successful in glowing this lamp. So it was an innovation. Talking next. So let us see this very interesting piece of thing. Like which type of people can go for entrepreneurship, right? This is very important. You can self-access yourself. You can self-test yourself. There are actually two types of people. Actually, four types. There are two parameters are there. So 2 to the power 2 is 4. So 4 combinations of people can be here. So one is very highly innovative, and one is risk-fearing. So the combination of these two, one type of people will be here. The combination of these two will be here, simultaneously here and here. Now, guys, I need a feedback from you people. This is not a boring lecture, I hope so. So I need a feedback from you. What kind of people are these type? I need 4 feedbacks, right? Highly innovative, but risk-fearing. Someone can unmute and tell me. Just the audio will be okay. Come on, guys. It's not a formal class. You can interact. I see some chats. Yeah. Okay, everyone is actually replying to the chat and they don't want to speak up. I hope they're afraid. Okay, let me tell you. Then this highly innovative people, but they do not want to take risk. They are actually dreamers. Like you will see many people in our college only. They are very good at inventing some things, innovating some things, but they do not want to take risks. So they are actually dreamers, right? Then there's not innovative people, and they do not want to take risk also in life. What are these people called as? Known as? These people are actually stuck in their life, right? So these sort of people are stuck and then not innovative and risk taking. They do not want to innovate, yet they want to take the risk. What type of people are they? They're actually gamblers. So they can gamble on anything which can promise to give them a high returns, but without taking any innovative measures, they actually go for it. So these are gamblers. So this is dreamers, this is stuck people, this is gamblers, and this highly innovative people. And they also want to take risk in their life. What type of people are they? They are actually entrepreneurs. Right. So go for the answers. So these are dreamers, these are stuck, these are gambler, this is entrepreneur section. So you can assess yourself whether which type of people actually you are in. So only one type of people can move from this section to entrepreneurs, which dreamers. So our job is to calculate their risks and this, and gamblers, some gamblers can also turn into entrepreneurs. I have not seen them, but dreamers eventually can be turned into entrepreneurs. So we will not deal with people who are stuck, that not innovative and not risk fearing also, and actually don't like risks. Going to the next one. Now, what do you differentiate between a gambler and an entrepreneur? You know, this gambler doesn't take any risk. Sorry, the gambler doesn't take any calculated risk. He doesn't calculate the risk. It just takes it, right? So This is a
सुन
typical scenario like a gambler.
तो कहिया
He
को
doesn't
चाहते
calculate the
टेम्परेचरली
risks.
हम जो आई थी ऑन कर
So gambler doesn't calculate the risk. He just takes the risk. So there is a huge probability that he will fail, right? But on the other hand, an entrepreneur takes calculated risks, right? So we'll just see a photo of this like calculated risk. Yeah, this is a calculated risk example. That's a mouse trap, there's a food, and this mouse is wearing a helmet, right? So he has actually known that there is a risk. So it has worn a small helmet and it is now trying to take the food. So if he's an entrepreneur, then he will take this calculated risk, and if he wins, the food is in its pocket, right? So that was a nice example of this calculated risks. So important quality in one of the entrepreneurs, one important quality is initiative taking, starting the process of risk taking, calculating risks, and taking the next steps. But on one also very important initiative, one important quality of this entrepreneur has to be this initiative. Like, so what is this? This is finishing the process successfully in time. Within the bound time, you have to complete, you have to finish the job, you have to finish the task. So these two are important, very important qualities. If you have initiative, not initiative, then you will start the process, but you will not be able to finish the process. So if you can also see yourself where do you stand in. If you're a good initiator, you will also try to be a good initiator, right? This is a new terms actually in the dictionary of entrepreneurship. So let's talk a few about this red ocean and blue ocean strategy. Right. So red ocean people like what? Compete in existing market space. Example is Vodafone, Idea, Airtel, right? And blue ocean is like Geo. Like Geo, when Geo came into the market, it was actually a blue ocean strategy. 4G technology was only with it. No other person was having this. No other company was having this 4G technology. So it created an uncontested market space, free data, free calls. No one else in the market could give. So eventually, this blue ocean strategy actually made its way after defeating this red ocean. So red ocean actually competes within themselves, the competitors, and they cut throats, and then they become actually red in color. So the thing is shown as red. And blue ocean, it is an uncontested market, right? So there, the competition is irrelevant. Like in 1970s, the concept of this micro oven had come. In that time, micro oven was a big innovation, and people without seeing anything actually started buying it. But right now, this micro oven market has become a red ocean strategy, like that of induction cookers right now. So red ocean people actually try to beat the competition, but here there is no competition only. They try to exploit existing demand markets, and here they create and capture new demands. And here they make the value cost trade-off. You will know, we'll come to know about this later. Now the whole system is aligned to the founding activities of the strategic choice of differentiation of low cost. This is a bit complex right now for you. We'll come to it at the later slides. Let's go to the new one. So these are, I will talk about some knowledge tips for those who are wanting to become entrepreneurs in life. Like, so first of all, you'll be showing some entrepreneurial qualities within the organization in which you are. So you will first become an entrepreneur, and then you will slowly turn to becoming an entrepreneur. So let's see some knowledge tips. So see what's your passion. First of all, find out your passion. Passion is what? Passion you will want to do without money, and you will also try to do on Sundays also without getting tired, and you will also be doing it in your dreams, right? But if you want to live your passion your entire life, you have to have some earnings from it, right? If you want to have some earnings from it, you have to follow some steps. What are they? You have to identify a society's problem. Society's problem might are many, right? So you have to identify that society's problem, and then using your own passion in whichever field you are, you may be chemical engineer, electrical, electronics, mechanical, whatever engineer, whatever you are, you have to use your passion to solve that problem. And once you have solved that problem, you will have to build a profitable, sustainable profession type of structure, right? So that which will keep on yielding you profits. Like someone wants to cook so much, like in people in RIHC or any hotel management system, they might be wanting to cook so much, and then they may see that okay, one society's problem is that they are not getting good food, so they can take the initiative of this type of Swiggy and Zomato and all those things. Then these will become eventually entrepreneurial journeys. Right. So first identify your own passion, and then identify the society's problem, use your passion to solve that problem, and then build a business model out of it. And then you are into the thing. Then you can live your passion your entire life. Let's go for next. So this is one saying is there: idiot, intelligent, and genius. So what does an idiot do? He does what he doesn't like to do. Those people are actually the idiots of the society. They keep on doing what they don't want to do, what they don't like to do. Intelligent people are what? They do what they want to do, they like to do. Genius is who he puts his liking in whatever he does. So entrepreneurs have a sort of this genius tendencies, right? And entrepreneurs have an inside driving factor. So this is very important. Inside driving factor, something drives from them within, and they are sort of genius. So I will talk about some three sources of knowledge that you will be seeing here in everyday world. Then you'll be seeing this beaker. This one is very class 10 experiment type. Can you see this broken pen? You know, this broken pen is actually not broken. You know, everyone knows it, right? But what is the eye telling you? What are your eyes telling you? That the pen is broken, right? So you know that it is a lie. It is a lie that the pen is broken. The pen is actually intact, but it sees as if it is broken. Who tells you the lie? Your senses, your eyes, right? So this is another optical illusion that I have copied from Google. You can actually see it feels that the circles are moving, right? So again, this is an illusion caused due to the eyes, but something inside you tells, oh no, this is actually lie. This is actually झूठ है. ये घूम नहीं रहा है. कोई ना बोल रहा है ना अंदर. Because this is some inside faculty telling you that this is a lie. This is not rotating, right? So one thing you can conclude that knowledge through the intellect is far more greater than the knowledge through senses that you obtain. So in Hindi, आंखों से जो देख रहे हैं उससे जो knowledge मिल रहा है वो छोटी पड़ जाती है than the knowledge which we get from the intellect. So ऐसे ही the knowledge through the intuition is far more greater than the knowledge through the intellect. Now what is this intuition? This intuition is such a, we actually call it the gut feeling in entrepreneurship. You know, your senses give you lies, and more than your intellect, your gut feeling or intuition, that is again something far more superior than the intellect itself. So intuition is actually not thinking, it's receiving, and particularly you definitely need to meditate for it. You know, there are internal burnouts happen when we take on stress. Then while some entrepreneurs try to open their own business models, they are very stressed out. They start substance abuse. So meditation helps in all those things. It calms the mind, focuses and relax, so that you turn from this type of human being to this type, so that you can handle your issues properly. And many people will be dependent on you, right? So you have to think outside the box. So this small 20 minutes of meditation or 5-10 minutes of meditation every day will help you think outside the box. So eventually you will have an innovative based thinking. So I leave this question to you. Is there a secret to quick manifestation in this world? So this question is for you. I won't answer it. Right? So let us see what are the problem solving areas after this corona lockdown is over. You know, there will be problem statements like indoor air quality device that will actually filter out the particles and will give you clean air. There is a need for disinfecting the rooms every day, disinfecting the money notes, personal protective equipments, waste management of all these things, UV-based disinfection, e-commerce like Flipkart, Amazon, grocery, autonomous electric vehicle-based delivery, contactless payments is a huge boom that will be happening right this now. It was in very much demand after demonetization. Like Paytm took over the entire India after these contactless payments were introduced. Then there will be drone-based delivery options, which is a big area. And then there will be this type of like Zoom, 3D holographic meeting rooms, proctoring rooms, online examination. You know, our college might go for online exams, right? So online exams, there will be some problems, which actually we need some company so that they can give a complete solution to it. In the near future, we may go for totally digital worlds, totally virtual worlds, like 3D holographic meeting rooms. Then a very great application area is this smart agriculture. You have to invest in smart agriculture. Without food, no one can sustain. And this 3D printing technology is a blessing. You might have seen that many people have actually 3D printed some valves so that you can actually pump air from one ventilator to 4 patients. So that was the magic of 3D printing. Artificial intelligence obviously is a big choice. Like you can, one of the areas which we right now need in colleges, AI based proctoring or AI based invigilation method. So that we need. Then portable healthcare. Many people are right now very much afraid that they don't want to go to the doctors because the doctor itself might be corona positive after seeing so many patients. So you might want to remain in your home only, and then you might want to share your data of your biological system to your doctor through remote means. Right. So portable healthcare is a big issue. Then China was actually holding this lithium ion triangle. That lithium ion triangle is actually three mines are there from which lithium is extracted. One of them is in Bolivia. So this lithium ion ore is actually owned by China. So when China has gone out of the market, it will definitely kick out the lithium ion batteries. So we would definitely need some alternatives to lithium ion batteries, alternative supplies. Else Chinese would actually be blackmailing India for more properties and under this lithium ion things. So then petroleum alternatives, the Saudi Arabia, we are also dependent on them for the petroleum issues. We have to have some renewable options for this also, which calls for innovation and entrepreneurship definitely. So here are some tips to sell your products if you have done anything. Like first determine whether your product is B2C or B2B. B2C is business to direct customer. C stands for customer, or B2B, business to business. So you have to observe whether your product is actually B2C or B2B. Then you have to know your target customers. And like whom are you trying to sell these things to? And talk to the influencers. Influencers are actually people who actually influences the minds of the decision makers. Decision makers are who can actually pay you back for the thing they have brought or they have bought. Right. So decision makers, influencers, target customers. This should be the focus. The more tips are like, your product should make your customers lazy. If they are getting activated using a product, then your product will not be selling into the market. Right. So then no product is 100% perfect. Have you ever been able to have a phone which is 100% perfect, which will never die for the next 100 years? Right. So a cell phone can never be working for the next 100 years perfectly. So like that, no product can be 100% perfect. So don't get depressed. Just talk about your positive points and improve your drawbacks at your back end. You shouldn't talk about your drawbacks in front of the customers. Right? And don't fall into operation cycles. Means you keep on doing the things, and you get caught up within the cycle. No, find someone who can really do your work. Then move to the next stage, and then keep on. Recognize every opportunity. During this demonetization time, Paytm showed a huge increase in their server strength, and they were very agile, very fast in increasing their server strength because the whole of India was totally out of cash. So everyone dependent upon only the that Paytm thing and other free charge, all those things. So Paytm actually did the leading thing, and they captured the entire market almost. Right. So Paytm was a blessing in that time, demonetization time. Right now, again after Corona, it will be a blessing. So Paytm owner actually showed this agility with stability. So agility and stability goes together. You have to keep your back ends very stable while you move up. So this is one very interesting thing that I learned in one of my workshops. Criticality of product is the x-axis and market size is the y-axis. You see that if your product is very less critical, then the market size will be low. As your product moves to a very highly critical object, very highly critical product, then the market size will be again low. So we have some optical type of criticality of the thing, which will actually make the market size the maximum. So by seeing the construction of a project, you have to we actually do the research, say you make something with a small microcontroller and you want to release it in the market. Now that is a medium type of criticality and it might have a good market size. But if you include AI, ML, IoT, so much of things into that criticality of the product, then the market size may get reduced instead of actually increasing. So you actually have to find out how much of criticality you have to inject into that product so that you get an optimum market size. Excuse me. So what are our roles? Our roles are actually to guide you in some idea selection, then prototyping the product, and assuring that the product has enough market size, filling your IPR and keeping you constantly guided in the entrepreneurship journey. Then there are funding opportunities coming up from DIC Districts Industry Center. It's already there in Bhubaneswar, MSME, Mudra Yojana, TBI that our college has, NABARD, angel investments, venture capitalists. We will have a complete round of things for this type of funding things. Right now, we will go to the general issues. Now, let us have some story time. So much of knowledge, right? So let us enjoy a story. Like there was a village in which Sham lived. One more villager. Excuse me. So Sham and Bholu lived in a village, right? And the village was just in front of a river. The clean water actually flowed, right? So Sham and Bholu, out of them, Bholu was an intelligent person. He saw that there were actually these housewives who were carrying pots of water in earthen clay, right? So earthen pots they used to have, and they used to carry over water 2-3 kilometers, 5 kilometers away from their homes. So that was a big issue for them every day. Right? They could not develop anything more. So he actually started a business of selling lightweight plastic containers, and he sold it to all the household owners. Right? So everyone started buying, and he actually had a cash flow. Right? But on the other hand, Sham, what he did, he installed some electric pumps, like diesel-based pumps. He extracted that water and supplied it to their homes directly. And then what happened? People who used to travel 5 to 6, 10 kilometers just for water, they started getting water in front of their houses. And because they did not have to travel so much, what they did, they gave some amount to that person, some money to that person. So this kept on happening. And then what he did, with some more money, Sham installed solar pumps instead of diesel based pumps. So he actually saved so much of money. He actually used the free resources of the sun instead of using diesel. That he kept diesel only as a backup. If the sun does not come, then he will only use it. But almost 300 days in a year, he actually used this solar pump to provide water to the villagers in each of their houses. So what happened? Every person actually started getting water in their homes. So they did not buy their plastic, all those things from Bholu. So what happened? The business market of Bholu actually shrunk, and the business market of Sham actually expanded, and then it became sustainable, and passive revenue income started coming into Bholu, into Sham's pocket. So day by day, Bholu's business actually tripled, and the business of this person Sham actually grew up, and it was sustainable, and he actually had the innovation included in it. Like he used this solar issues with this, so he saved on his costs and he started earning more. So what happened with this? People started getting water in their homes only. They become happier. Bholu got married. He was a now wealthy man, and slowly, within some days, the village transformed to a good-looking village where people used to get water and all those services in their homes only. Let us have some case studies now. So Amul India, everyone knows the taste of India, right? Amul is the taste of India, right? So how did it really started? Some people actually gathered. They actually took the milk from the cows and they assembled it. Then they used to sell it to the markets. That was completely liquid milk, right? But what the problem was that the milk used to get rotten within few hours. So the distance that it would travel was actually less. And at those times, they did not have the refrigeration issues. The refrigerator was not portable. So Amul India actually was helped by CSIR, ACSIR. I hope you know CSIR India. They give them the technology of dry powdered milk, which you get in the shops right now. So this idea was a revolutionary idea. And Amul India actually used their technology to produce dry milk, dry powdered milk, and they packed it and they sold it. So that was an innovation. And that was a turning point in their life, the life of Amul India. And then they became the brand Amul. This Ritesh Agarwal, a very inspiring story from Orissa, hotel aggregators. Everyone knows his innovation factor was what? Smartphone GPS. So he turned that GPS into a very handy thing, and then hotel integration, affordability with cleanliness. That was the standards of the hotels, which he actually introduced. Then Ola, Uber, the cab aggregators similarly use the smartphone GPS and the standard services also. I will leave it to you. This innovation factors of Flipkart, Naukri.com, and Paytm. Paytm, you must know, you must have experienced that the servers of Paytm are very fast and never fail. Almost they never fail. SBI server can fail, but Paytm server cannot fail. Some of the experiences are like this only, right? So Paytm, all these things, they are known for digital payments. So let's move. Here we have a very popular entrepreneur. Everyone has seen this Padman, I hope so. And the Padman was from Akshay Kumar. And this real Padman is? This real Padman name is Arunachalam. I'm sorry, it's a very tough name. So Arunachalam was the real Padman. So let's see his product features. His product offered a lower cost than market. At the market price was 6 rupees per piece, and he sold at 2 rupees per piece. It was scalable, means multiple machines could be made and sent to many places. It was medium critical, so it had huge market size, very huge market size. Sustainable growth. So the growth was sustainable because everyone actually used those things. So it generated employment of village women itself. So it eradicated employment. So some care must be taken that your innovation does not hamper employment. That you should generate more employment out of your innovation. And hygiene of women were very much taken care of. That was a big revolution at low cost. So if you have a vision, dare to be a bad man like Arunachalam. So I have some hot topics on demand. If people are wanting to go for it, we can arrange a webinar for those like MSME as their district industry center, red ocean versus blue ocean, right? And some special topics on demand can be there, like secrets to cultivating minds of entrepreneurs and innovators. Innovators and entrepreneurs can either be born or they can be trained, right? So stress management and high energy secrets for entrepreneurs. All these things can actually be we can have a webinar on this, but depending upon the demand of the public. So thank you. That was all. So this is my contact email and WhatsApp number is given. If you have any queries or if you want to give any webinar to other places, you are welcome. Just contact me out, right? So I'm leaving some minutes for your queries. Yeah, I will share the PPT. I'm opening up the ground for questions and answers. Yeah, you can just speak up. Okay, so if you have any more questions, I think people are very afraid to use the mic actually. They actually want to talk to the WhatsApp more, to the chat more. So you are welcome to WhatsApp me up if you have any queries or you need any guidance in your life on this entrepreneurial journey. Right, so I'm ending up this session. So thanks a lot for being there.
Thank you, sir, for the section.
So stay in home, stay safe.